Have you ever felt your heart race before an exam, had trouble concentrating under pressure, or just felt mentally drained after a long day? This is stress at work, and although we might not all realize it, it has effects on all of us. Today, I'm going to explain what stress is, how it affects our mind and body, and since it's something that we all go through, it's important to know healthy ways to manage it. As a student, I'm balancing my academics, my work, and my personal life. And I definitely know how overwhelming this can all get, and it can get very stressful very fast. Through my research and my personal experiences, I've learned some ways to manage it, and I want to share it with you guys today. First, I'll define what stress is, then I'll discuss the effects it has on our physical and mental health, and finally, I'll share some effective ways that we can use to manage that stress. Let's start by understanding what stress is and why it happens. According to the World Health Organization, stress is our body's response to challenges or demands. It happens when we feel pressured or are in uncertain situations. Stress can come from different sources like school, financial troubles, relationships, and even just the own pressure that we put on ourselves. Good Thinking UK states that there are three main types of stress. The first is acute stress, which is short term, and it happens when something sudden happens to us, like an exam or just public speaking. The second is episodic acute stress, and this is where somebody is experiencing acute stress frequently and just feels under pressure all the time. The third is chronic stress, and this is long-term, and it can be caused from strains like financial worries and work pressure. Now that we kind of understand what stress is and where it comes from, let's talk about the effects that it has on our mental and physical health. Stress does more than just make us feel overwhelmed. It has real effects on our health. Stress can affect us in many ways. Physically, it can cause us to feel fatigue, have headaches, or even weaken our immune system. And according to Mayo Clinic, prolonged stress that isn't managed can lead to serious health risks like high blood pressure, heart disease, and diabetes. Mentally and emotionally, stress can lead to anxiety, difficulty concentrating, or even depression. Over time, if stress isn't managed, then people may turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms like overeating, the misuse of alcohol and drugs, or just completely burn out. Since stress is something that affects us all and has serious effects on our well-being, it's important to learn how to manage it. Now let's explore some effective ways to reduce and manage stress in our daily lives. While stress is unavoidable, there are ways to manage it effectively. Experts from McLean Hospital suggest that planning ahead, prioritizing tasks, or just making realistic goals can help prevent stress from building up. Healthy ways to manage stress include having a healthy diet, also including more exercise in your daily life, and just overall making time for relaxation. Talking to your friends and family can also be very beneficial, as well as talking to a professional about your worries. Personally, I have found that getting enough sleep and drinking water and just disconnecting from social media can definitely reduce my stress levels, especially now with social media. It can be very toxic, and learning to step away from that is very important. But sometimes all of that can take some time to learn and just program into your head. So I also think that stress toys are very helpful. For example, I use this rubber ducky just to squish him, and I feel like it helps me fidget and maybe distract me a little bit. I also use this little mini Squishmallow as a stress ball. It's plushy and very soft, and I feel like it helps me decompress and kind of just relieve some of that stress, even if it is temporarily. But this is definitely great for like one hand tossing around. But sometimes you need something a little bit bigger, like a little bigger Squishmallow. This is perfect if you want both of your hands to be doing something and just kind of like help you decompress and relieve some of that stress. But also just taking a deep breath and stepping away from a very stressful situation can make the biggest difference. Now let's go to our key takeaways. Stress is a natural part of life, and knowing its causes, effects, and our management techniques can help you handle all of that. Today, we explored what stress is, the effects that it has on our mental and physical health, and how to manage it through healthy habits and coping strategies. While we can't eliminate stress completely, it's good to know how to respond to it, turning it from a burden into a challenge that we can overcome. The next time you feel stressed, just take a deep breath and know that you have control over managing that stress, and you have control over just taking care of your well-being.